Now let's talk about extinguishment of sale. A sale is extinguished when there's a conventional redemption, which happens in a sale with right to repurchase, or pacto de retro sale. For instance, when the seller a retro dies, his heirs become co-owners of the conventional right of redemption, and each heir may exercise the right to repurchase only with respect to his share alone. In order to exercise the right to redeem, only tender of payment is sufficient. Consignation is not required after tender is refused, but when tender is not possible, consignation should be made. When no redemption is made upon the expiration of the redemption period, the buyer is required to institute an action for consolidation where the seller a retro may be duly heard. If buyer succeeds in proving that the transaction was indeed a pacto de retro sale, the vendor is still given a period of 30 days from the finality of judgment within which to repurchase the property. Once the vendor fails to redeem the property within this stipulated period, irrevocable title shall be vested in the vendee by operation of law. Now let's talk about equitable mortgage. For an equitable mortgage to arise, two requisites must concur. First, that the parties entered into a contract denominated as sale, and second, that the intention was to secure an existing debt by way of mortgage. A contract purporting to be an absolute sale or a pacto de retro sale is presumed to be an equitable mortgage when any of the following circumstances or badges is present: when the price of the sale is unusually inadequate, when the vendor remains in possession as lessee, when after the expiration of the right of repurchase it is extended by the buyer, when the purported seller continues to collect rentals from the lessees of the property sold, or when he is under the threat of being sued criminally. In case of equitable mortgage, when the mortgager fails to pay his obligation, the law allows for the following remedies: reformation, action for declaration of nullity of the deed of sale, specific performance, and foreclosure of the mortgage in equity. Consolidation of ownership in the mortgagee in equity is not allowed since it would amount to a pactum commissorium. In a pactum commissorium, the following are present. First, a property mortgaged by way of security for the payment of the principal obligation, and second, a stipulation for automatic appropriation by the creditor of the thing mortgaged in case of non-payment of the principal obligation within the stipulated period. For being contrary to morals and public policy, pactum commissorium is void. Thus, it does not matter if the questioned contract was freely or voluntarily executed by the parties. The pactum commissorium provision still remains void. So that's it for our review on the extinguishment of sale. Thank you for listening.